How you guys doing? All right? If anything I can say out of my story that you could bring back with you for the evening is don't let Italian armed guards get you nervous on getting a piece of music for your film. And Laura's right. I am working on a film right now in Kosovo, and it's kind of a unique film. It's also filmed here in Canada, and it is the first thriller film, or you could say horror, ever made in the Albanian language. Now, when I originally came up with this idea, it kind of came out of frustration being between Kosovo back and forth. And by the way, I'm not Albanian, and I'm not Serbian. So is there any Albanians, Serbians in the audience at all? Okay, perfect. So I'm neither. And it's another story in itself how I ended up going there in the first place. But we announced this film, which has a title called Katunar, which in Albanian kind of means hillbilly. It got picked thanks to Eli Roth's app somehow, and some bad PR guy I hired in Alabama got picked up over there and just went crazy. To give you an idea of how crazy, at one point I remember there was a Barack Obama story which might have got on the national media 50 shares, whereas the announcement of Katunar, the first horror film ever to be done in Kosovo and Canada, got 800 that day. So, as you can imagine, working in somewhere like Kosovo, there's lots of challenges. And before we start off, some of you might not know some things about Kosovo, but there was a conflict that was going on there during the breakup of Yugoslavia. There was a very bad civil war, and Kosovo declared its independence around 2007, 2008. The first time I was there, it wasn't even a year old as a country. When I am there, I do not have a Kalashnikov to buy bread. I don't dodge bombs. The best way you can describe Kosovo is it kind of looks a little bit like Switzerland, and if you look at it on a map, it kind of looks like Ontario put in a microwave. It's a very tiny country. So there's challenges, of course, making a type of film between Canada and Kosovo, the first of its type, international cast, mixed cultures, everything. And I like challenges. I mean, I'm making a film in Kosovo. And I'm sitting at my desk, because I have an office actually in Pristina, which is the capital city of Kosovo. And one of the challenges that I need a piece of music for my film that is of the nostalgic piano genre. And I think I got someone that might be doing a good enough piece in Spain for it. But I'm thinking, I'm going to look at a freelance list again and see if I can find, I'm just going to look. Because I solved the problem the week before, which was our caterer, or someone who wanted to do catering for the film, said that he could give us fresh milk each day because he had his own cow. So this is just another daily obstacle. And I'm on a freelance site, and I see a picture of a guy, and he's been, sitting there smiling, and he's been on RTK 2, which is Radio Television Kosovo. So I message him, and I said, "Oh my God, you're in Kosovo." And I notice he's online. And I'm kind of excited about this. Perhaps he's familiar with this genre of music. And I get a message back that says, "What, do you want me to die?" I'm a little taken aback by this. I didn't quite understand why I'm getting this. I said, no, like, I'm just kind of interested in a piece of music. And then he says to me, are you going to blame me for UNESCO realizing Kosovo as part of Serbia? I said, no, dude, like, I'm just a Canadian guy actually working on a film here in Kosovo, and I'd like you to kind of, I'm curious if you're familiar with nostalgic piano, because I'm looking for someone to compose a piece for me. And then he kind of lets his guard down and says, yeah, actually I am, and I'm sorry, but I've gotten Albanians say to me that they think I should die. And then I realize he's Serbian. And in Kosovo, there are enclaves of Serbian pockets. It's primarily Albanian, but they exist throughout the country. And so anyway, we talk a little bit more about nostalgic piano, and we have a Skype call. And this is how Savo came into my life. And so, we're deciding, I'm telling him a little bit about the film, and he's like, it sounds good or whatever. We should meet up and talk about this. And I'm like, sounds good to me. Do you want to come down to my office in Pristina? And he's like, well, I'm in Leposavic, which is northern Kosovo, and I don't feel safe to come to Pristina. So perhaps we could meet in Mitrovica. And I said, yeah, okay, like we'll meet on Saturday and that's fine. Now, Mitrovica is a town that is divided by a bridge. In the south, it's Albanian speaking. And in the north, it's Serbian. And it's crossed by a bridge. So you cross the bridge. If you go north, you're technically in Serbia. And in the south, you are in the Republic of Kosovo. So I agreed to do this. And I tell my assistant, and she basically says to me, can he meet you on this side? She's not game about this at all. Like, she thinks it's just a really bad idea. And I said, I can't promise you that. Like, and I knew well I was going to cross the bridge. But, I mean, it's a little scary because of the fact, like, I've been in Kosovo like 6 times now. And, I basically have grown up, in the country, kind of relating to like Albanian culture. So I said, I can't guarantee that. And Saturday comes around, and I'm off to Mitrovica by bus, playing typical kind of gypsy music in the bus. I love it, actually. And I get dropped down in the downtown area. And unlike a lot of places that if you were to go to Kosovo, like, I had problems finding people that spoke English, or maybe they didn't want to tell me where the bridge was. And finally, a travel agent did. And at this point, too, I can't even tell Savo, like, I'm on my way, because each country doesn't recognize each other's code, country code. So I can't text him, he can't text me. So someone points me to the bridge. Now I get to the bridge, and there's Italian guards that are like stationed on the Republic of Kosovo side, the Albanian side. And they're just kind of looking at you like, oh, you're crossing the bridge, It's kind of a weird feeling, because I'm going by myself, right? And at this point of time, this happened in November, the bridge is kind of under EU construction, so when you're approaching the bridge, you can only see like half of it. And when you're walking down it, you still can't see the other side. Like, you're walking, but you can't see the other side. So I'm crossing this bridge, and I don't know what's waiting on the other side. And at the halfway mark, I kind of see some police cars on the other side, and then I see Savo. He's holding, a big box of Jaffa cakes, which is kind of like this marmalade-y, chocolatey thing from Serbia. And he greets that's a present for me, and we in the car, off we go. And we go to some restaurant, and if you've ever been in the Balkans at all, you might know this drink called rakia, which is kind of like a homemade hooch made with grapes. It's kind of like ouzo, but you get fucked up on it a lot faster. Out comes the rakia, tons of food, and at this point too, I have to turn off speaking Albanian in my head because someone could take it the wrong way. But I can scrappily speak a little bit of Russian, so I answer back in Russian, at the Serbian restaurant. And we have a bit of pork, we have more rakia. I'm getting looped. I have to return back because, my assistant says to me, promise me you're going to be back by dark. So I basically, not crawl across a bridge, but I got a nice buzz on. It's late. I've missed all the buses. I have to find some, a mobile phone kiosk gets me to a cab driver that speaks nothing, no English, and gets me back into Pristina because it's about an hour away. So then Savo and I, basically he's gung-ho about the project, and he, like many people over there, have just kind of had it with this tension between Serbs and Albanians. They've just had it because things are not functioning. They need to function. And even, the fact that, we're doing this silly little thriller film in Canada and in Kosovo, he's on board. And he composes, he says, I'm going to get you some tracks together and you can hear. And also, we had a photo while we're eating, and he's stalked my Facebook page, and he knows, he asked me if I'm going to put up the photo with him. And I say, yeah, but this is something that I have to answer to there because, like I said, some people won't take nicely to it. But we do it, and a lot of people are awesome. And some people, like my barber there, were like, why did you go there? But in essence, he hands me a piece of music which was so beautiful I cried. And I was thinking, I come from such a diverse country, and we're all so many backgrounds, sexualities, likes, dislikes, but we're all together as Canadians. And for me, for Kosovo to work as a country, we have to include everyone from the north to the south. And so I'm really kind of glad that I ended up crossing that bridge, and then I ended up having to cross it again and to sign off on the contracts and drink more rakia. But it also built kind of alliances between other partners that have that same vision of we just want things to succeed. We want people to work over here. And I'm just, as scary as it was, I'm so glad, that I crossed the bridge. And if anything, all I can say is sometimes, we get these bridges in life and, it's scary to cross it. And this one, literally, I couldn't see the other side. But I'm so glad I did because my film has kind of grown to be an alliance of people that just want to make it work. And to me, I think that's an important thing. So, thanks.